So let's start the lesson. Okay, class, I'll be going through Nanyang Primary School paper, end of year 2020, Primary 4 paper. I'll be going through all the questions. So the first question that I'll be going through would be this. Okay, it says that which of the following numbers does the digit 7 stand for 700? So for 700, right? Okay, the digit 7. Which of the following numbers does the digit 7 stand for 700? Okay, for the first one, this is 70. So this is 700. This is 7,000. And this is 7. So each of the 7, right, in each of the following case, right, it stands for different things. In this case, it stands for 70. Digit 7 stands for 70. This one stands for 700. So answer is number 2. Okay, so number 1, no problem, right? Number 1, no problem. I move on to number 2. So if you have any questions, right, just raise up your hand. Okay. Then after that, I'll move on to number 2. It says that 13,004 tenths is the same as, okay, 13,000 plus 4 tenths is 40. So you add together is 13040. So the answer is 4. Okay, that's for number 2. Okay, for number 3, which of the following is a factor of both 16 and 36? Okay, for this question, right, there are 2 ways to do it. Okay, I'll show you the primary way first, which is taught in school. Then after that, I'll show you my personal way, which is a lot faster. Okay, in school, right, what you have learned is to list out the factor. So 16, the factor of 16 would be 124, 816. And 36, the factor of 36 will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 9, 12, 18, and 36. Okay, these are all the factors. So do you notice when I list out your factors, right? You try to list it in ascending order. In that way, you would not miss out any of the factor. Okay, that will be a better way. You list out in ascending order. Okay, example 16, right? When I list out 1, 2, 4, right? Okay, as you list out, you ask yourself, 1 multiplied by what give you 16? 1 multiplied by 16 itself. Then 2 will be multiplied by 8. So 4. Then after that, 8. So when you list until 4, right? You know 4 times 4 is 16. Then after that, when you list out 8, right? Okay, once you see, right, when you need to multiply 8 by the 2 you already list out, right? You would know that this is a factor of 16. Because you list out 1, 2, 4, then after 4 is 8. How do I know after 4 is 8? Because if you are very versatile in your multiplication timetable, you would know that 6 is not a factor of 16. Example. So the next one will be 8. 8 multiplied by what? 8 multiplied by a 2. So you know that when you need to multiply by a number that you already list out, right? Then you know that this is the second half of it. So the first half of it will be here. So this is a turning point. The turning point is at 4. So you list out in ascending order. 1, 2, 4, 8, 16. In this case, right, when you continue to list out after 8, right, you want to list out further, right? You'll be asking, what number multiplied by 1 give me 16? In that case, you will not miss out any factor. So let's say 36, right? I list out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, no. 6, yes. Then 7, no. 8, no. Then 9. Okay, once you list out 9, you notice, right? 9 multiplied by a 4. Because you already list out a 4. Correct? Earlier on, you already list out a 4. So once you list out 9, you know it's 9 multiplied by a 4, give you 36. So after that, you instead of continue 10, 11, right? You ask yourself, what number multiplied by 3 give me 36? Then you write 12. Then what number multiplied by 2 give me 36? 18. What multiplied by 1 give me 36 is 36 itself. So you don't have to worry, right? You miss out any, and it's faster this way. Okay, when you list out in ascending order. So clear or any question regards this part? But the question is asking, right, a factor for both 16 and 36. So the common factor is 4, 1 and 2. So you circle them. Then you see 1 and 2 is not here, only 4 is the answer. So answer is 4. Okay, then just like I mentioned, there's another faster way. Another faster way, right, is the usage of prime factorization, which you would learn in secondary 1. But I like to impart this to my students in upper primary so that they can be faster in their doing of this kind of question. So prime factorization, let's say 16. So a prime number, you need to know what is a prime number. A prime number is a number that can only be divided by 1 and itself. So prime factorization will be 2 to the power of 4 is 16. So it's not 4 times 4. Okay, the base has to be a prime number in order for this to work. So this one is only more for students, right, of higher caliber. So if you are a student of higher caliber and you want to do maths faster, right? So you can use prime factorization. So 16 is 2 to the power of 4 and 36 is basically, okay, 36 is 4 times 9, right? So 4 is 2 to the power of 2, 9 is 3 square. So these are all prime numbers. 2 and 3, the base are all prime number. 4 is not a prime number. Therefore, you'll be 2 square multiplied by 3 square. So my highest common factor, okay, because it is a factor, right? I choose the base that appears on both cases. That's the 2. And I choose the lowest power since it is a factor. So 4. HCF is 4. So this is a lot faster compared to listing out the factors. So whichever way you're more comfortable and more confident in, you can use the method. So this method is taught in secondary school. So I see no harm in teaching my primary school students if they understand. Okay, so let's move on to question 4. Okay, any point in time, if you have questions, right, just raise your hand, all right? Then, okay, let's move on to question 4. Okay, question 4, it says, right, what fraction of the shapes are in the box are present? So how many shapes are there? There are 8 number of shapes. So how many crescents are there? There are 5 crescents. So what fraction is 5 over 8? 5 over 8 is part 1. Okay, so answer is 1. Okay, let's move on to question 5. The digit 5 in 4.157 stands for 5. How many? Can you see, right? 5 is represented by 0.01. Okay, because 5 is here. So 0.01. 0.01 is 1 over 100. 1 over 100 is the hundreds. Okay, so question 5 is number 4, hundreds. It stands for hundreds because it's 0.01 is 1 over 100. Okay, question 6. Which of the following figures has perpendicular lines? So you need to know, right, what is a perpendicular lines? Perpendicular lines, right, are lines that are 90 degrees. So only H has perpendicular lines. The rest doesn't have perpendicular lines. So the answer is 3. All right. Answer is 3. Okay, let's move on to question 7. There are 12 identical boxes. There were 12 identical boxes. There were 307 books in each box. How many books were there all together? So the books that are there all together, right? 307 times 12. 7 times 2 is 14. 0 times 2 is 0. 4. 3 times 2 is 6. 7 times 1 is 7. 0 times 1 is 0. 3 times 1 is 3. You add together is 4, 8. This is 6, this is 3. 3, 6, 8, 4. So correct answer is number 2. Okay? You understand why need to multiply, right? because this part is quite straightforward. It's still quite straightforward. If at any point you got questions, please ask. Okay, question 8. At the stadium, the number of adults was 5 times the number of children. Okay, this is our question, right? Okay, I'm not sure your max ability at this moment in time. So I'm assuming, right, you are probably struggle in maths. That's why I assume. So if you're someone, right, who really struggle with maths, what you can do is to draw model, because model, right, would show it in a picture form, and the question become a lot easier. Okay, number of adults, A for adults, okay, C for children. Okay, adults was 5 times the number of children, right? So I draw 5 boxes. And children is 1 box. Okay, so this model, right, you actually is represented that adults is 5 times the number of children, because there are 5 boxes for adults, 1 box for children. And there are 5,485 adults in the stadium. That means 5 units is equal to 5,485. Because there are 5 boxes here. So 5 units, this is 1 unit. Okay, each box represents 1 unit. So 5 boxes represent 5 units. So 5 units is 5,485. So before you proceed, you need to find 1 unit. 1 unit is 5,485 divided by 5. Because this is a primary 4 paper, you are not allowed to use calculator. So let's do the long division together. So 1 times 5 is 5. This is 0. 4 I bring down. 4 divided by 5 is 0. 0 times 5 is 0. So 4, I bring down my 8. 48 divided by 5 is 9. 9 times 5 is 45. This is 3. So I bring down my 5. 35 divided by 5 is 7. 7 times 5 is 35. So this is 0. So 1097. Okay, 1097 is my 1 unit. So number of children is represented by 1 unit. Therefore, the number of children is number 4, 1097. That is how you get 1097. Okay, let's move on to question 9. Question 9, it says that the niece had 22 balloons at first. She lost 4 balloons and gave away 8 balloons. So altogether, right, 22 minus 4 minus 8. Okay, 22 minus 4 is 18. 18 minus 8 is 10. So eventually she has 10 balloons left. But the question is not asking how many balloons she has left. The question is asking what fraction of the balloons did she have left. So she had 10 balloons left, divided by her original number of balloons. So this one, you will reduce to lowest form, right? To reduce to lowest form, I divide by 2 on numerator and denominator. The reason is because number 2 is your highest common factor. Okay, so you always divide by the highest common factor. Higher common factor of 10 and 12. I mean 10 and 22. So divide by 2, I have 5. Divide by 2, I have 11. So answer is number 3. Okay, question 10. Leela jogged 8.45 kilometers from her house to the park. She then jogged from the park to the market. She jogged a total distance of 15.5 kilometers altogether. How many kilometers did she jog from the park to the market? So this one, if you are not sure what to do, you can always draw out. Okay, what I mean by draw out, this is her house, this is the park, and this is the market. So from the house to the park is 8.45. And from the park to the market is what you're supposed to find, right? And a total distance of 15.5. So you're supposed to find here. So what must you do? you have to use 15.5 minus 8.45 to get the answer. So 15.5 minus 8.45 is 0. You borrow 10 minus 5 is 5, 4. 15 minus 8 is 7, 7.05. Answer is 3. Am I going too fast? Am I going too fast? I mean, no response, I'll maintain this speed already. A bit. As I said, if you don't understand, you have to stop me. Don't wait for me to ask you. Because I got a lot of questions to go through. So I would be going quite fast. Anyway, I can send you my replay if you need to. I can send you my video because this is recorded. Okay, so question 11. The perimeter of a rectangle is 42 cm. Its breadth is 9 cm. What is the length of the rectangle? So this kind of question, right? It's best that you draw out a rectangle. Okay, it's best that you draw a rectangle. And it says that perimeter is 42. Perimeter is what? Perimeter is the circumference, the surrounding. Okay, perimeter is the length plus breadth plus length plus breadth. Okay, this is called perimeter. And it says that perimeter is 42 cm, right? Its breadth is 9. So this is the length. L represents the length. So my two length would be 42 minus 18. Why 18? Because 9 plus 9 is 18. The two breadth is 18. Okay, understand, no? Two breadth is 18. So perimeter minus two breadth is my two length. So 42 minus 18. Twelve minus 8 is 4. 3 minus 1 is 2. 24. So two length is 24. So my length would be 24 divided by 2. That's equal to 12. Okay, that's how answer is 1. Oh, can follow this one? Can? Can follow? Cannot. Okay, question 12. A bakery sells one pie for $1 and a box of 8 pies for $5. Okay, one pie for $1, a box of 8 pies for $5. What is the greatest numbers of pies David can buy from the bakery with $78? So he has $78. So $78 divided by $5. Why? The reason is because 78 divided by 5, right? You know how many boxes she can buy. Of course, there will be remainder. Okay, it's 15 boxes, remainder 3. So 15 boxes. Okay, she can buy 15 boxes of 8 pies. So 15 times 8. Because one box has 8 pies. 5 times 8 is 40. 8 plus 4 is 12. 120. And 120, I need to add my 3 because the remainder is 3. The remainder 3 is the extra $3, right? I can only buy 3 more pie. So it's 120 plus 3, 123. Clear this question? Okay, for question 13, you need to see this part here. Okay, it says that the table shows the number of each type of pen sold by a shop. So for A, right, is 24. So 24 being the highest. So you must see A being the highest. So obviously number 3 is out. Okay. Then after that, the second highest is your D, right? So you have 1 and your 4. Okay, second highest is your D. So you are deciding between 1 or 4. Correct? Because for 1 and 4, your second highest both are D. Okay, the third highest is your C. Okay, third highest is your C. So 1 is pass. How about 4? Okay, 4 doesn't pass anymore because your C is lower. Okay, so answer is number 1. So you no need to worry, right? Like 1 gap represents how many? Because from the number you can tell 24, A is highest, followed by D, followed by C, followed by B. So A is highest, followed by D, followed by C, followed by B. So 1 is the answer. For question 13, answer is 1. Okay, let's move on to question 14. Okay, the line graph below shows the amount of money collected for the sale of watches at the end of each month. What was the greatest monthly difference in the amount of money collected for the sale of watches from one month to the next? Okay, it says that they are looking for greatest monthly difference. So the word greatest monthly difference, right, doesn't mean that it is the highest. That's not what they mean. What they mean is the greatest steepness, the level of steepness. Because monthly difference means the level of steepness. Okay, level of steepness. So level of steepness, right, you need to measure the gradient. Okay, so how to measure the gradient? To measure the gradient is this part. Rise divided by run. Okay, for every one of this part here, right, the run is the same. The run is all 2 units, if you can see. So the only difference you need to compare is your rise. Okay, they want the greatest monthly difference, right? So the highest rise. So the highest rise will be here. This is the highest rise. So this rise, right, if you notice for question 14, right, this part, the highest rise, right? Okay, first you need to see, right, 5 gaps is 2,000. So 1 gap is 400. First, you need to know 1 gap represents how many. So we identified this is the highest gradient, right? Because this part is the highest compared with here. So you count the number of gaps you have here. Okay, if you were to zoom in, you can count the number of gaps you have there. Okay, let's zoom in and count. Okay, let's zoom in and count the number of gaps. Okay, the number of gaps, right, will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 gaps. Okay, 6 gaps. So 6 times 400, 2,400. Okay, 2,400. So answer is number 2, 2,400. Can you understand no? So far? You understand no? May can understand? Hello, can no? Okay, question 15. Question 15, it says that a mixed fruit juice is made using orange juice and pineapple juice. The table below shows the amount of orange juice and pineapple juice in container A, B, and C. So what is the total amount of mixed fruit juice in the 3 containers? So the total number of fruit juice in container A, you can add this up together. Okay, this part is 0. 0 plus 5 is 5. 2 plus 4 is 6. 1 plus 3 is 4. 4.65. You add together, you put a 0 here. 0 plus 6 is 6. 1 plus 0 is 1. 2 plus 6 is 8. So also add together. 1.60. 0 plus 2 is 2. 6 plus 2 is 8. 1 plus 4 is 5. So you add these 3 together, right? 4.65, 8.16, 5.82. So let's add together. 5 plus 6 is 11. 11 plus 2 is 13. Okay, 1 plus 6 is 7. 7 plus 1 is 8. 8 plus 8 is 16. 1 plus 4 is 5. 5 plus 8 is 13. 13 plus 5 is 18. So answer is number 2. So basically just add all together and take care of your decimal place and avoid making careless mistakes by adding 1 by 1. Then the last 3 can add together. Okay, you add 1 by 1 instead of adding it this way. Okay, if you add this way, right, you're more bound to make careless along the way. So you do one thing at a time. Okay, answer is 18.63. Okay, let's move on to your section B, booklet B. Okay, what is the remainder when 2027 is divided by 9? So 2027, right? If you divide by 9, okay, what times 9 is 20? 2 times 9. Because 2 times 9 is 18. So 20 minus 18 is 2. Bring down my 2. 22 divided by 9 is how many? Also 2. 2 times 9 is 18. So this is 4. Bring down my 7. 47 divided by 9 is 5. 5 times 9 is 45. So remainder 2. Okay, question is not asking for quotient. No? Question is asking for remainder. Remainder is this. So just write 2 here will do. Once you show the working. Okay, a lot of students will write 225, but they forget they are looking for remainder. So open your eyes when you do your question. Very important to avoid careless mistake. Okay, let's move on to question 17. Okay, ask you which two of the fractions below are equivalent to 6 over 8. So 6 over 8, when you reduce to lowest form, is 3/4. So 3/4. Okay, 6 over 8, right? Okay, 18 over 24, right? You reduce to lowest form, right? This one you divide by 6. If you divide by 6, they'll have 3 over 4. 3 over 4. So answer is 18 over 24. In exam, right, once you see this is 3 over 4, right, just write 18 over 24 and 3 over 4. So no need to worry about these two, because the question is asking two of the fractions. So you already know 3/4 is one of them. The other one is this. So in exam, once you know this 3/4, right, straight away you just write the answer now. Don't worry about these two really. No need to waste time finding out these two, because they already said two of the fractions. Because time is so precious in exam. So you only double check whether you get it correct. If you have time after that, please check. Okay, express 4 over 12 in its simplest form is basically 1/3. How to get 1/3? Here, divide by 4. Yeah, divide by 4, numerator, denominator. Why 4? Because 4 is the highest common factor of 4 and 12. So your HCF, LCM, right, you must be extremely familiar, very versatile in it. So it's not just memorizing your multiplication timetable. You need to know factors and multiples very well in order to move around fast for maths paper. So the next one is asking you to arrange the following fractions from the smallest to the greatest. So for this question, right, you have to compare apple to apple and orange to orange. So what do I mean by that? So you have to see this one, 2/3, and this 5 over 12, right? I got to change my 2/3 to 8 over 12. So that all the fractions, right, is same denominator. Okay? It's only when it's same denominator, it's easier to compare. So smallest, right? So 8, 5, and 7, smallest is 5. Here, instead of writing 8 over 12, write 2/3. Okay, this is how you do the question. Okay, write the decimal represented by A. Okay, the decimal represented by A. Okay, first you need to see, right? Here is 0.5. Here is 0.6. Between 0.5 and 0.6, right, is 0.1. So 0.1 is represented by how many spaces? 10 spaces or 10 gaps. Okay, if you're unsure, you can always count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 gaps. So 10 gaps is represented by 0.1. So 1 gap divided by 10, 0.01. So 1 gap is 0.01. So you see, for A, right, how many gaps are here? This is 1 gap, right? 1 gap from half of it, right? Or you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 gaps. 6 gaps would be 0.06. So it would be 0.5 plus 0.06. That is 0.56. Okay, clear. This question okay? Not too fast. Okay, the next one is 21. What is the missing number in the box? 0.7 is equal to 7 divided by 10. Okay, 0.7 is 7 divided by 10. Because if I divide by 10, right, 7.0, right, I divide by 10, I shift here, right, my decimal place. So I'm dividing by 10. So 7 divided by 10 is 7 over 10. Okay, the question is not asking for this fraction, right? Asking for this missing number, right? So just write 10 will do. Please do not write 7 over 10. You write 7 over 10 is wrong. So remember, the question is asking missing number in the box. So just write 10 will do. Okay? Okay, the next question is asking you to round 26.35 to the nearest whole number. Okay, when they ask you to round off to the nearest whole number, right? Okay, whole number here is 2 and 6. 3 and 5 are decimals. Okay, so to round it to the nearest whole number, right? You look at this first decimal. Look at it means, right? Look at it to determine to round up or round down. That's what I mean by look at it. So you look at 3. 3 is below 5. So you round down. So the nearest whole number is 26. Okay, please refrain from writing 26.0 because they are asking for a whole number. Just write 26 would do. Okay, next. 8.8 minus 0.99. 8.8. Instead of writing 8.8, you can write 8.80. Why? Because you're dealing with two decimal places. Okay, minus. Now it's just like your normal, ordinary subtraction working. It's just that you're dealing with decimal. So if you deal with decimal, right, it's the same thing. 0 minus 9, I need to borrow. So 10 minus 9, right, is 1. 7 minus 9, I need to borrow again. 17. 17 minus 9, why 17 minus 9 is 8. Okay, 17 minus 9, yeah, is 8. 7 minus 0 is 7. So answer is 7.81. Okay, that's for 23. Question 24. In the figure below, name the two angles that are greater than 90 degrees. First, you need to understand, right, how much is 90 degrees? 90 degrees, right, basically is like that. Like the edge of a square or rectangle. Okay, that's 90 degrees. So you need to understand angles. Okay, less than 90 degrees is like that. Okay, this is less than 90 degrees. So more than 90 degrees is this way. Okay, then that's how you see the angles. Okay, this is less than 90 degrees. This is more than 90 degrees. This is exactly 90 degrees. Okay, when in question, right, when you see the angle is exactly 90 degrees, right, they will not do like that and put 90 degrees. They'll do like this, like a box like that, to indicate it's 90 degrees. So when you see angles, right, in this manner, right, it means it's 90 degrees. So in this case, right, they're asking which two angles are greater than 90 degrees. So you have to see greater than 90 degrees is in this manner. Okay, so you have to only W and your Y are greater than 90 degrees. X is not greater than 90 degrees. X and Z is not greater than 90 degrees. So the question is, how do I know it's W and Y and not Z and X? Okay, first you need to recognize, right, W is the obvious one that is greater than 90 degrees. Okay, the only one that's obvious is W greater than 90. Z, Y, X, you cannot see with your naked eye. And in exam, right, such questions, you cannot use your measuring apparatus, your projector to measure. Such questions, they are testing your understanding and your observation skill. For any kind of quadrilateral, right, if the opposite side is more than 90, right, okay, if this side is more than 90, right, the opposite side confirmed is more than 90 for quadrilateral. Okay, so if this is less than 90, right, this confirm is less than 90. So the only possibility is W and Y. Okay, the concept of quadrilateral. Okay, quadrilateral. If this is more than 90, here must be more than 90. If this is less than 90, here must be less than 90. That means the opposite side will follow. Clear? Another example is a parallelogram. Okay, this is a parallelogram. You see, this is less than 90, this will be less than 90, opposite side. This is more than 90, this will be more than 90, opposite side again, parallelogram. So you need to know the concept, right? For quadrilateral, right? The opposite side always follow each other in terms of whether it's more than 90 or less than 90. So clear? Okay, next one. Question 25. Area of a square. Okay, first you need to know, right? Square, same side. Okay, square, same side. Length are same side. All four sides. All four sides, same length. And they tell you area is 64. Okay, area is length times length. Right? Length times length is 64. Now you need to ask yourself, right? Which number or which digit multiplied by itself give you 64? So if you are very familiar with your multiplication timetable, you would know that 8 times 8 give you 64. So the length of the side of the square is 8 cm. So this one, they are testing your multiplication timetable in a way. You need to know which number multiplied by itself is 64. Of course, there are various combinations to get 64, but in this case, right, it's length times length. Both are same length. That means it need to be the same digit, same number. So you're going to ask yourself, what number multiplied by itself give you 64? In other words, when you do an exam, P4, P5, P6 exam paper, right, your multiplication timetable, right, I recommend from 1 to 12 must be at your fingertips. If you can, memorize until 12 times table. If cannot, right, you memorize at least until 10. That means from 1 times 1 to 10 times 10. That means I ask you 8 times 7, you must tell me it's 56 immediately, something like that. So you need to memorize your multiplication timetable, know it at your fingertips. I strongly recommend that. Of course, you can argue P6, you can use calculator, but P6, right, calculator, right, means they are not testing your multiplication timetable. They are testing your understanding and whether you know how to apply those concepts. So when it comes to P6, I'll dwell more on that. But right now it's P4, you're going to P5. So next year you're P5. So if you are still struggling with your multiplication timetable, I highly recommend you memorize your multiplication timetable from 1 to 1 to at least 12 times 12 if you can. If not, at least 10 times 10. Okay? Okay, use a protractor and ruler, draw angle ABC equal to 82 degrees. Your C is somewhere here. And this is 82 degrees. So you use your projector to measure. Okay, you put a projector like that at B. A projector. Your measure here is 82. Okay, you physically have to use a projector. Because over Zoom, it's very hard for me to show you use projector to measure. But you understand what I'm trying to tell you, right? For question 26. Yes? No? Cannot? Okay, I move on to 27. Okay, Ravi is facing the supermarket now. Okay, Ravi facing the supermarket now. how many degrees in the okay, this is clockwise direction. Anti-clockwise will be this way. How many degrees in the anti-clockwise direction must he turn if he wants to face the school? So how many degrees is this? 270. Okay, 270 degrees anti-clockwise. Okay, student will be tempted to write 90 degrees because they see here is 1/4 90 degrees, but they forget it's anti-clockwise. So the direction is very important. You need to know which direction the question is asking. Student always make careless of this part, the direction. Okay, in Peter's home, right, his school and the park are located as shown in the square grid. In what direction is Peter's home from his school? Okay, for this kind of question, right, you need to understand your compass very well. So this is your compass. Okay, face like this is your north. So the top part is your north. So from his school, that means I need to put my compass here. Okay, from his school, I need to put my compass at the school. Which direction is his home from his school? This direction. This direction is the west direction. Okay, so part A is the west direction. A new market will be built northwest of the park. This is the park. Northwest of the park. And southeast of his home. Southeast of his home. Shape the square where the new market will be built. This is that square. Okay? This is that square. Okay, let me move on. Question 29. In the figure below, PQRS is a rectangle. Find angle PRQ. PRQ, rectangle, properties of the rectangle. So for rectangle, right, the edge, the side, the corners are all 90 degrees. In other words, this part is 90 degrees. So in order to find this angle, it will be 90 minus 35. Okay, 90 minus 35, that is 55 degrees. Or you can do your working. If you find it tough to do mental calculation, you can do your working. So 10 minus 5, 8 minus 3, 25. Question 30. In the square grid below, AB form one side of a square ABCD. Complete the drawing of square ABCD on the square grid below. Okay, first you need to see square. All four sides are the same length, 3 gaps. 1, 2, 3. So length of each side is 3 gaps. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, this is 90 degrees. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, this is how you complete the drawing of a square. How do I know you draw this way? Okay, because number one, right, you can tell that this one is slanted. And it's 45 degrees here. Therefore, when it's slanted, right, this part must be 45 degrees as well. So it's from this corner to this corner. In other words, to draw the side, it has to be from this corner to this corner. Okay, it has to be the corner to corner. Because this is from corner to corner. Then it's 3 gaps. Or 1, 2, three gaps. 1, 2, 3, 3 gaps. And this is 90 degrees. So you follow suit for all 4 sides, you can get a square. Clear all this question? Of course, you need to label. Don't forget to label. After you draw right, A, B, C, D. Label A, B, C, D. Okay, question 31. Okay, complete the table on the square grid below so that it is symmetric about the line of symmetry X, Y. Okay, the line of symmetry. So you're supposed to complete this, right? So this one will be like that. Okay, first you see this point here, right? Okay, is actually this point. Understand? Then from here would be here. Like that. Okay. Then this point. Okay, you see 1 gap, 1.5 gap. Okay, my 1 gap is here. Okay. Then like that. This is how many gap? 1.5 gap away from the line, right? So it's like that. 1.5 gap away from the line. Then after that, this part here, right? They join together, right? So this point here is half a gap away, right? So it's this point. So these two must join together. Then these two must join together. Then after like that, right? It would be like that. Because this half gap away, right? So half gap away at this point. So you just join together. Okay, understand how I draw? The logic behind. Can you understand how I draw the line that's symmetric to it? Can you understand? Yes, no? Can you understand? 31, can or? Okay, let's move on to the next one. 32. For question 32, okay, it says Mr. Tan fill up his petrol tank of his car on Monday. The line graph below shows the amount of petrol he had left in his petrol tank at the end of each day of the week. So on Monday, right, he has 60 liters. On Tuesday, okay, first you need to identify, right, 1 gap represents how many? Okay, first you see, right, this part is 10 liters. So there are how many gaps? 5 gaps. If you count, there's actually 5 gaps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 gaps. So 1 gap represents 2 liters. So once you identify 1 gap represents 2 liters, right, you just write it like that. 1 gap equal to 2 liters. So that you know that each gap is 2 liters. So Monday, right, is 60. How do I know it's 60? Because exactly at 60. Then Tuesday, right? Tuesday, right, is you see is 1 gap above 50. And 1 gap is 2 liters, right? So this is 52. Wednesday is exactly at the 40 line. So just write 40. Thursday is 1 gap below 30, right? So it's 28. So this is a straight line. So it's 28 again. Okay, first you have to write out this information here so that it is easier for you to do the question. Then after that, you have to take a look at the statement they are asking. Okay, the statement they are asking, right, is Mr. Tan used 8 liters of petrol on Tuesday. So you need to see on Tuesday. On Tuesday, right? Okay, this is at the end of Tuesday. So this is at the end of Monday. So at the end of Tuesday means on Tuesday itself, he used 8 liters. So it's true. Okay, he used 8 liters is true. He did use 8 liters. Okay, he used 8 liters. Then he used 35 liters from Monday to Sunday. Then you need to see from Monday to Sunday. Okay, from Monday to Sunday, you can't tell because you don't have the information of Saturday and Sunday. Okay, straight away you know you can't tell because they are asking for Monday to Sunday. So it's not possible to tell. This is not possible to tell. Mr. Tan used the same amount of petrol on Thursday and Friday. Okay, Thursday and Friday, right? Strictly speaking, he didn't use any petrol. Okay, strictly speaking, he did not use any petrol. So it's false. Okay. So the answer is true, not possible to tell, and false. Did I answer your question? Can understand, no? Can? Do you need me to go through again for question 32? Okay, you're good. Question 33. Packet X contains 610 kilogram of sugar. Packet Y contains 1/3 kilogram less sugar than packet X. What is the total mass of sugar in packet X and packet Y? Okay, first you need to identify, right, the fraction that's indicated here, right? Do they mean quantity or they are actually fraction itself? So the fraction that's indicated here, right, is it a quantity or a fraction itself? So what do you think? Is it a quantity or fraction itself? Okay, let me tell you, the answer is it is quantity. How do I know it's quantity? Because there's unit next to the fraction. Wait, whenever you see a fraction with a unit, right, the fraction itself is not the fraction. The fraction itself is a quantity. Okay, 6/10 kg. Basically, it's 600 grams. So it's a quantity. 1/3 kg. Basically, it's 333 grams. Okay, this is 1/3 kg. So it's actually a quantity, not an actual fraction. So packet X is 6/10 kilogram. Packet Y contains 1/3 kilogram less sugar than packet X. So your packet Y, right, will be 6/10 minus 1/3. Because packet Y is 1/3 less sugar than packet X. Packet Y is 1/3 kilogram less sugar than packet X. So packet Y will be 6/10 minus 1/3. So 6/10 minus 1/3, you got to change both to common denominator. So the common denominator is lowest common multiple of 10 and 3. Lowest common multiple of 10 and 3 is 30. Okay, 10 times 3, give me 30. So since I multiply by 3, right? So 6 multiplied by 3 will be 18. So 3, right? 3 multiplied by what? Give me 30. 3 multiplied by 10. So 1 must multiply by 10. Give me 10. So 18 minus 10 is 8/30. 8/30, I divide by 2, top and bottom. I have 4/15. So y is 4/15, but they're asking for total mass, right? So total mass will be 4/15 plus 6/10. 4/15 plus 6/10, right? Whole thing is over 30. 4/15 is 8/30. 6/10, right? 18. 18/30. Because 10 times 3 is 30, right? 6 times 3 is 18. 18 plus 8, that's 20, 26/30. Okay, what is your 26/30? That's your 13/15. So the answer is 13/15 kilogram. Clear? This question, you're clear? This question, you're okay? 33? You're clear on 33? Yes, no? You're okay? Which part you are not sure? Are you okay with question 33? Hello? Are you okay with question 33? Hello? Yes, no? Question 33, are you okay? Okay, question 33. I'll move on to 34 already. Okay, 34. A is the largest one-digit even number. That means A is equal to 8. Because 8 is the largest one-digit even number. Okay, how about B? Smallest 4-digit odd number. Okay, 1001 is the smallest 4-digit odd number. What is the product? Product of A and B is A times B. That's 8 times 1001. That's actually equal to 8008. So answer is 8008. One times 8 is 8. 0 times 8 is 0. 0 times 8 is 0. 8 is 8. That's how I get 8008. Okay, question 34. A is the largest one-digit even number. B is the smallest 4-digit odd number. Okay, 34 I did done. Let's move on to 35. The figure below is made up of 4 identical rectangles. The area of the figure is 300 cm square. What is the length of the rectangle? So 4 identical rectangles, right? The 4 rectangles is 300, right? One rectangle will be 300 divided by 4. 300 divided by 4. 7 times 4 is 28. 20 divided by 4 is 5. So one rectangle is 75. What is the length of the rectangle? From here, you can see that 3 breadth is equal to 1 length. Okay, 3 breadth is equal to 1 length. Your length times breadth is 75, right? So your length, right, is 3 breadth. So length is 3 breadth. 3 breadth times breadth is 3 breadth square equal to 75. So your B square is equal to 75 divided by 3. That's 25. Therefore, your B is equal to 5. Once you know your breadth is 5, right? Your length is 15. 3 times 5 is 15 because your length is 3 breadth. And it's asking for the length of the rectangle, so it's 15. This question, you're clear? Are you clear about this question? Okay, I'm going to move on to the next question. 36. Okay, 36. It says that Devi bought 2 sacks of rice. Each sack contained 28.63 kilograms of rice. She then packed all the rice equally into 7 identical bags. How many kilograms of rice did she pack into each bag? So she bought 2 sacks of rice. Each sack contained 28.63 kilograms of rice, right? So you need to find the total weight of all the rice, right? Okay, that's the total weight of all the rice. She then packed all the rice equally into 7 identical bags. So if you were to pack it into 7 identical bags, right, equally, keyword. How many kilograms of rice did she pack into each bag? You divide by 7. Because the rice is packed equally into 7 bags. So you divide by 7. Okay, 8 times 7 is 56. 1, 2. 12 divided by 7 is 1. 1 times 7 is 7. 12 minus 7 is 5. 56 divided by 7 is 8. So it's 8.18. How many kilograms of rice did she pack into each bag? 8.18 kilogram. Okay, 36, you're clear. May, are you clear? Yes, no? I need some response from you, whether you're clear or not clear. Hello? Okay, I'll move on to the next question, 37. Mrs. Low spent $316. Mrs. Debbie spent twice as much as Mrs. Low. Mrs. Sama spent $129 more than Mrs. Debbie. How much did Mr. Sama spend? Round your answer to the nearest 100. So for this question, you have to draw model. So you have L for Low. Mrs. Low spent 316. Mrs. Debbie spent twice as much as Mrs. Low, right? Mr. Sama spent 129 more than Mrs. Debbie. How much did Mr. Sama spend? From the model itself, right, you will know is 316 times 2. 6 times 2 is 12. 1 times 2 is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. 632. This part is 632. Then altogether will be 632 plus 129. You add together, 2 plus 9 is 11. 3 plus 2 is 6, plus 7, plus 3 plus 2 is 3 plus 2 is 5, plus 1 is 6. 6 plus 1 is 7. Nearest 100, right? 800. Round it to the nearest 100. Answer is 800. Okay. Clear. Because the question is asking to round it to the nearest 100. All good so far? Hello? No response, I take it that you are okay. And I'll just move on. The figure below is made up of two identical squares, AB and a rectangle C. The perimeter of the figure is 82 cm. What is the area of the square? So let's call this L. L, L, L. These are all L. Okay, you understand why they are all L? Huh? So this part here, right, because it's a square, right, this part is actually this part. They are the same. They are both L over 2. Therefore, this part here, right, okay, that means this part and this part, right, apparently is 14. Oh, understand? Oh? Because this part here, my blue part here, and this blue part here is the same length. Therefore, if I have to move this square to here, right? Okay, if I have to shift this square to here, my blue part plus this red part will be 14. Therefore, the length of this red part and this part here will be 14. Oh, understand now? The blue part is 14. So you can see 14 plus 14 is 28. How many L's are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 L's plus 28 equal to 82. Because perimeter is 82. So 6 L's equal to 82 minus 28. 12 minus 8 is 4. 7 minus 2 is 5. So 6 L's equal to 54. 1 L equal to 54 divided by 6. So your L is equal to 9. Okay, so you know L is 9, right? But they're asking for area of the square. 9 times 9, 81. Understand this question? Can I understand? Can you understand this, what I just presented to you? Hello? No response, I take it that you understand, all right? Yeah, I'll just present. Okay, 39. Alan sold 58 booklets of coupons. There were 15 coupons in each booklet. So first step, okay, each coupon cost $2. She put the amount of money collected equally into 6 envelopes. What was the total amount of money in each envelope? Round your answer to the nearest 100. So Alan sold 58 booklets of coupons, right? There are 15 coupons in each booklet. So you find the total number of coupons first. So your total number of coupons equal to 58 times 15. So you do your working, 58 times 15. 8 times 5 is 40. 5 times 5 is 25. 25 plus 4 is 29. 8 times 1 is 8. 5 times 1 is 5. I add together. 8 plus 9 is 17. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 5 is 8. 870. So the total number of coupons is 870. So each coupon costs $2. Okay, so the amount collected will be 870 times 2. So you can use 87 times 2 and add a 0 behind later on. 7 times 2 is 14. 8 times 2 is 16. 16 plus 1 is 17. So it's 1740. That's the amount collected. And she put the amount of money collected into 6 envelopes. What's the total amount of money in each envelope? So equally, right? Equally in 6 envelopes. So 1740 divided by 6. Three times 6 is 18. But you're not going to use 3. You're going to use 2. 2 times 6 is 12. 5, 4, 54 divided by 6 is 9. Okay, 0 times 6 is 0. So 290. So the total amount of money collected in each envelope is 290, but they want it in nearest 100, right? So answer is 300 for 39. Because they want it in nearest 100. So I'm going to move on to the next question. Question 40. Okay, Madam Yenny bought a dress, 3 shirts, and a bag. She spent the same amount of money on the bag and the dress. Each shirt costs $49.80 less than the bag. The dress cost $12.90 more than all the shirts. What was the cost of each shirt? What was the total cost of the dress and the bag? So for this question, right, you can draw a model. So she bought a dress, 3 shirts, and a bag, right? Okay, you have the dress, shirt, and bag. She spent the same amount of money on the bag and the dress. Each shirt costs $49, $49.80 less than the bag. each dress costs $12.90 more than all the shirts. Okay, allow me to tidy up my model drawing here. Okay, the dress costs $12.90 then more than all the shirts, right? So this is one shirt. So 3 shirts, there are 3 boxes. Okay. And each shirt costs $49.80 less than a bag. And the bag and the dress, right, cost the same. Okay, because she spent the same amount of money on the bag and the dress. Then it says find the cost of each shirt, right? So from here you can see that 2 units of the shirt, right, is $49.80 minus $12.90. So you can see the power of model drawing. If you draw accurate model, you can see that this is 2 units. 2 units is $49.80 minus $12.90. So equal to $36.90. So 2 units is $36.90. So 1 unit, you divide by 2, $36.90, you divide by 2. Equal to 18.45. So 1 unit is 18.45. Cost of 1 shirt will be $18.45. So what is the total cost of the dress and the bag? So you can find the cost of 3 shirts. 18.45 times 3. So the cost of 3 shirts is $55.35. But they want the total cost of the dress and the bag, right? So you have 3 shirts, and now you can find the dress. So cost of the dress will be $55.35 plus $12.90. 55.35 plus $12.90, right? You have 68.25. Okay, I trust you know how to add them up together. You get 68.25. Then after that, what's the total cost of the dress and the bag? So because the dress and the bag, they are same price, right? You can use 68.25 multiplied by 2 to find the total cost of the dress and the bag. 68.25 multiplied by 2 is 136.50. That's how you get the answer, 136.50. Any question? No? Okay, I'm going to move on to question 41. Question 41, it says that the table below shows the number of sunflowers and roses sold by a florist from Monday to Wednesday. What is the total number of sunflowers sold for the 3 days? So you add these three together, you know the total number of sunflowers sold in the 3 days. 6 plus 8 is 14. 14 plus 7 is 21. 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 plus 2 is 5. 5 plus 1 is 6. So the total number of sunflowers sold in 3 days is 61. How many more roses were sold on Tuesday than on Wednesday? Then you compare these two. Tuesday, roses is 52. Wednesday, the roses is 45. So 52 minus 45. Answer is 7. Okay, you cancel off. 12 minus 5 is 7. After you borrow, 4 minus 4 is 0. So answer is 7. Part C. Each sunflowers was sold at $2 and each rose was sold at $4. How much more money was collected from the sales of the roses than sunflowers on Wednesday? So you need to see for part C, right? Sunflowers sold at $2, rose $4. How much more money was collected from the sale of roses than sunflowers on Wednesday? So sunflowers, 17 times 2 equal to 34. Rose is 45 times 4. So what is 45 times 4? 180. Okay, because 45 times 2 is 90. 90 times 2 is 180. That's how I know it's 180. How much more money was collected from the sales of the roses than sunflowers? So 180 minus 34. You have 146. So answer is 146. Okay, 42. Mrs. Ong had some cupcakes at first. After she gave away 2/5 of her cupcakes, she had 24 cupcakes left. Give away 2/5. So what's the fraction that's left? She gave away 2/5, right? Therefore, she's left with 3/5. So 3/5 is the fraction that's left, right? And there are 24 cupcakes left. That means your 3/5 of all the cupcakes is 24. 1/5 of cupcakes would be 24 divided by 3 equal to 8. So 1/5 is 8, right? How many cupcakes did she give away? So 2/5 of the cupcakes would be 16. 2 times 8 is 16. So how many cupcakes did she give away? 16. Because she gave away 2/5 of the cupcakes. So 2/5 of cupcakes is 16. How many cupcakes did she have at first? Okay, number of cupcakes she have first is 40. Okay, does that make sense to you? Can you understand so far? Can I move on to the last question? Last question is a very interesting question. Okay, it says that there is a total of 90 geese and sheep in a farm. They have 274 legs altogether. How many geese are there in a farm? How many more sheep than geese are there in a farm? So for this kind of questions, right, first you need to identify, right, one geese has how many legs? One geese has 2 legs. And one sheep has 4 legs. Okay, one sheep has 4 legs, one geese has 2 legs. Okay, the sector of the exam, they assume student is aware that one geese has 2 legs, one sheep has 4 legs. So this kind of question, you have to use assumption method. So what do I mean by assumption method? Assumption method is you have to assume a certain number of geese or a certain number of sheep at first. So in this case, right, they're asking for how many geese. And for assumption method, you always assume in the opposite direction. So you are looking for geese, right? So you assume all are sheep. Since you're looking for geese, you assume all are sheep. Always assume the opposite way. So assume all are sheep. So 90 sheep, right? So you have 90 sheep. 90 sheep has how many legs? Okay, number of legs will be 90 times 4. Each sheep has 4 legs. So 90 times 4 is 360. But you know, in reality, you don't have 360 legs. In reality, you have 274 legs. So there's a difference, right? So this is called total difference. Okay, 360 minus 274, that's equal to 86. Okay, I assume you know how to do your calculation, so I will not waste time to do the calculation anymore. So it's equal to 86. So this is called the total difference. How about each difference? Each difference will be 4 minus 2. Because one sheep and one geese, right? If I have a pair of sheep and a pair of geese, I mean, if I have one sheep and one geese, right? Their difference in the number of legs is 2 legs. So the total difference is 86. And each difference is 2 legs. Therefore, the number of geese, right? Number of sets of difference in this case. Equal to 43. And apparently your number of sets of difference is the number of geese. Okay, the reason is because, right, this one you have to do some deep pondering. As a tutor, I can only explain, but as a student, you have to do your own reflection and do your own thinking. So you think for a moment, right? From the start, you have 90 geese and sheep in a farm. So if all these 90 of the animals, right, if all of them are sheep, I would have 360 legs if all are sheep. But you know, in reality, right, not all are sheep. So in reality, only 274 legs. So the difference between a situation where all are sheep and the reality is 86 legs. So the difference is 86 legs. So each difference, right, between a sheep and a geese is 2 legs, right? 4 minus 2 is 2. 4 minus 2 is 2. So each difference is 2. So you know that this difference, right, is because not all are shapes. Some are geese, some are sheep, but you assume all are sheep. In reality, some are geese, some are sheep. So you have some differences. That's the total differences. So if total differences divide by each difference, in this case, right, I would have the number of geese. Because the number of geese, right, is the reason why there is differences between reality and under the assumption when all are shapes. Okay? So if I divide 86 and 2, right, I have 43. So 43 is the number of geese. Once you know number of geese, right, you can find number of sheep, right? So number of sheep will be 90 minus 43 equal to 47. So they want how many more sheep than geese, right? 47 minus 43 equal to 4. So answer for B is 4. Answer for A is 43. Okay. Is there any more question you have? I went through the full paper so far. Do you have any questions? Okay, by the way, I am teacher David Ng, and yeah, this is my YouTube channel. Okay, my YouTube channel is here. You can take a look at my YouTube channel. You search for teacher David Ng. You search for teacher David Ng. Hi, Patrick. Hello.
Hi.
Hello. So, what you are from which school?
I'm from Marsala Secondary.
Okay. So, how do you get to know Mr. David Ng?
I got to know Mr. David after my SA2 SA1 when I was failing math. I think I got a D7 if I can remember correctly. So I decided I needed help with mathematics. So my dad looked through several different tutors and eventually found Mr. David via Facebook.
Okay. So, how do you fare in your last year AMAX?
SA1 or SA2?
Your SA2.
My SA2 I got 96 out of 100 for A math.
Okay, that's very brilliant. So do you think? Okay, let me ask you. Do you think independent learning is important, and why?
I think independent learning is important because, especially at the secondary school level, you really need to start taking charge of your own learning, because I don't think parents and teachers nagging you to do homework is really going to get you the results that you want. So I think independent learning teaches you how to be responsible and take initiative and be in charge of your own learning, which in turn will help you get the results that you want.
Okay. So what is the difference between Mr. David Ng lesson delivery compared to typical school teacher?
I think Mr. David focuses more on finding mistakes rather than, for example, he teaches me mathematics, right? So in school, usually the teacher just lets you do the questions, but they don't really take the time to go through, if you get it wrong, they don't really take the time to go through like what mistakes you did or like where you went wrong. If you just, okay, you got it wrong, you look at the whiteboard, you copy the answers down. But for Mr. David, he focuses more on looking for the mistakes so that you know where you went wrong and you know how to correct that in the future and prevent that from happening. So I think this kind of learning really helps me to improve my mathematics skills, as I know which parts I did wrong and which parts I did well. So in the future, I can prevent repeating the same mistakes.
Oh, okay. I see. So that's very good. So yeah, thank you for your interview, and yeah, so that's all for today. Thank you, Patrick. Okay, thank you. Bye bye. Okay, you can take a look at my YouTube channel after that, and let me share a little bit more about myself. I am an assessment book author. This book that I've written in 2018. And I was invited to speak at a popular book fest in 2018. So this is the assessment book that I've authored. Earlier on, I've mentioned, and just a brief background of my history. So I'm actually an engineer by training. So I know maths extremely well. For engineering, I did electrical engineering. I also did 2 years of mechanical engineering in NTU after I graduated from Singapore Poly. Then after that, I transferred my credit to electrical engineering to University of New South Wales. And I graduated with a master's degree in technology management. And I have more than 10 years of maths coaching and tutoring experience. I've taught in various tuition centers before. So, yes. And you can read up more in Parents Guide Asia of my teaching philosophy. And below are some of my testimonials. So this student, I helped her to get all A for her PSLE. She had an aggregate score of 244 eventually. And within 3 months, right, she improved from 50 over marks to 80 over marks. And this student, I helped her to got 253 for her PSLE. And she had A for her maths, high A. The mom believed is a high A because she was getting range of 70 initially. And within 3 months of coaching, I helped her to improve to 90 over marks in school prelim paper. And this was last year PSLE. And this year PSLE student, he got 92 out of 100 for his PSLE. I mean his prelim paper. So right now PSLE, you still don't know the result. So I hope this student can get AL1 also. So he improved from 60 to 70. I mean 60 to 70 initially. Now it's above 90. So I believe he can get AL1 eventually. So these are some of my student testimonials. I have more testimonials in my Facebook page, Teacher David Ng Facebook page. YouTube is basically my teaching videos, and Emmanuel Learning Hub is my videos of some of my teaching also. So I can be contacted at 9795-1295. So if you like to find out more about my Primary 5 Maths tuition, you can WhatsApp me at 9795-1295.